Some of you need to be slapped back into reality, and it shows. I got something to say about this whole prepping thing that's been going on with Hurricane Helene, our wildfires here in Wyoming, the election, and all of this. I'm telling you, some of you need to be slapped upside the head, and you need to calm down.
I can't wait to find out why.
Calm yourself down. All right, so here's the thing. We've been doing some of these videos, and the comments are absolutely unbelievable. People are like, well, stocking water is not going to do you any good if your house is completely washed away. Well, you're telling all these people to stockpile and the floods just took everything away. The other big one is, Tara, you're just shaming these poor people who've had their lives ripped apart. I am not shaming those people who were in Hurricane Helene by any stretch of the imagination. When I say I told you so, when I say get prepared, I am not talking about freak acts of nature like this where your whole house is totally washed away. No, there's nothing those people can do.
Well,
we're not talking about that.
Tara's not talking to the people in the emergency. She's talking about you if you're the critic.
Because if you're watching this, you're not in an emergency at the moment.
If you're the critic that says, well, she's talking to you, saying, look, these things happen. You're saying these things don't happen. You shouldn't be prepared. The problem is, if you just want to criticize, you're going to encourage other people not to be prepared, and they could be the victim.
There are a lot of people in Helene who did not have their houses washed away. There are a lot of people with our wildfires who did not have their houses burned down. As a matter of fact, only like 2 houses burned down. But you know what? Some of those places, the roads were closed for 3 weeks. If they lived up there, they couldn't get in because there was fire. If they lived up there, they couldn't go check on their stuff because if they evacuated. If they didn't evacuate, then you're stuck. But here's the thing. Here in Wyoming, we literally have everything trucked into us. We cannot have anything grown here. Nothing is grown here. Unless, some of us have gardens, but there's not near enough food to sustain those of us in Wyoming where we live.
Call your deer hunter friends.
Yeah.
There's tons of deer.
Exactly. But at any point in time, our highways could be cut off from wildfires, toxic spills from chemicals. That has happened to us before. Mudslides, just 20 miles down the road here, half the highway washed away with a mudslide. This was like a year and a half ago. Blizzards.
Well, when this fire first started, I don't remember how long it was, but the interstate was closed up there because the fire was threatening the interstate. Well, and in fact, there was another fire a few months before that, and another interstate was completely closed.
It's closed. And they couldn't get in. This is, and we're not telling you to go stockpile a year's worth of food. My goodness, do you realize the average family does not have even 2 weeks worth of food in their house? I saw that statistic and I could not believe it.
We're also not telling you to panic. Like, even though we're giving a lot of examples, it doesn't mean, oh my goodness, is it going to happen to me tomorrow? Is it going to happen the next day? Is it going to happen Friday? But those things do happen sometimes. And if you're prepared, you don't really need to worry.
Yeah, especially if you're a Christian.
But we had a situation where the water was rising and our town was about to be completely cut off from civilization for a couple weeks. And a neighbor was going to the store for 1 gallon of milk.
We love you, Katie. Katie knows we
Katie's learned.
Katie stockpiles now though, because she got the tar scared out of her coming back because she almost got trapped.
She risked her life over 1 gallon.
Her and her
milk.
kids.
And if you don't have any stock on hand, any plan for anything, then when there's an emergency, you'll be one of the 50 million people that's all running to get the last roll of toilet paper. Toilet paper is not really that big of an emergency, but like to get the last something critically important, gallon of water, because you didn't have any. And those are the people that suffer greatly. Like if you have stuff, you don't have to be part of the throng that's running to the store.
And here's the thing. Okay, so let's say you realize a hurricane is coming and you're not prepared. Use your brain. Don't freak out and use your brain. You get to the store and all the water is sold out. What are you going to do? Oh my goodness. There is an entire case, freezer case, is that what it's called? Aisle of drinks at Walmart. Go get tea, go get juice, go get bottled juice, go get your kids' little snack drinks, your Kool-Aids and all of those. Well, I don't eat red dye. Well, I'm sorry, if red dye is going to keep you from dying, then you're going to need to do it. And I understand some kids have reactions. I get all that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who are just too prideful and too stuck on, I have to do this or that or whatever, that they don't think straight to save their lives.
Well, and if you don't prepare, then you have to deal with whatever you get.
Yeah.
Because you didn't prepare.
Yeah.
So being alive is better than worrying about certain things that you're usually worried about.
When that thing going around happened, I went to go do a video at the store. And I looked at the aisle. I'll see if I can find the footage. I don't know if I can, but I looked at the aisle. All the antibacterial soap for a virus. Okay, first of all, an antibacterial soap
does not kill viruses.
Doesn't really kill viruses. I mean, it does when you wash your hands.
Well, viruses are kind of weak, but antibacterial is designed for bacteria, not viruses.
But all the antibacterial soap was gone. I'm not exaggerating. Right next to it, there was baby shampoo, there was baby wash, there was shampoo.
There was regular soap.
There was regular bar soap, which no one would touch. And then in the other aisle, they had dish soap, they had wipes, they had all kinds of other stuff. But people insisted on getting the antibacterial soap. It was so ridiculous. So ridiculous. Use your brain and think when you're in these situations. If I cannot get an item, what else can I use? If I can't get Band-Aids and I slash myself pretty bad, what can I do? You can tear up a sheet, you can tear up a towel, you can tear up a t-shirt and wrap it tightly if you need to sanitize it. Here she is. Are you glad?
The mail is here.
But
if you ordered, your books are about to leave.
Yeah, so if you guys need a Dining on a Dime cookbook, go grab it.
Quick order before she leaves.
So I'll throw my ad in here right now, guys. Our Dining on a Dime cookbook in the description below will help you save money on your grocery bill. And it's easy recipes that your family will love. You can get the link in the description below. So going back to sanitizing, the mail lady distracted us, but going back to sanitizing, did you know that you can boil rags and that will completely sanitize them? You can dip them in bleach, you can dip them in rubbing alcohol and let them dry, and that will all sanitize. And that will sanitize all of your rags if you need them for medical purposes. That's how they used to do it in the old days. The next thing is stop making excuses that you can't afford to do this and you can't do that. My mail lady, it is almost 6 p.m. here in Wyoming. I talked to my mail lady yesterday. It is the last week of October. She said that she has been working until 8 or 8:30 every night, because they have so many orders, they cannot keep up.
Wow.
Do you know what that says about the economy? It's not near as bad as what you think it is, because if it was, you would not be ordering all that stuff. Well, you can afford to stockpile at least something. Go ahead, sorry.
I was just gonna say, I do think some of I think the economy is not great right now, but I think that people want what they want and they charge it. So you're just going into debt to buy all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't do that.
Yeah. But there's no reason why you can't spend $20 a week, if you're on Social Security, $20 a month to get some canned goods and get those stocked up. Get some, if you live in a cold climate, get some of those hand warmer things so that if you lose power, you can put it in a blanket and keep your hands and body warm inside a blanket if you have to. Hi, Brandy, we love you. We have the best mail lady ever in the entire world. So stop making excuses that you can't afford it. You can't afford it. You just don't want to afford it. Your priorities are messed up. Stop the Starbucks coffees. Stop the nails. Stop the eating out. I know people who literally eat out lunch every single day and they think nothing about it. Yet they complain that they don't have enough money to stockpile anything.
Well, the thing about stockpiling is you can do a little at a time and still do some of the things that you do.
You can.
And once you get a stockpile going, because the way we operate is Tara has the stockpile, and certain things you only use in an emergency, like those little warming packets that you squeeze and they get hot. But like food stuff, it's basically just we have a certain amount of supply in the basement of food.
We just have a grocery store in our basement.
And she goes to the store just like anybody else does every week and buys stuff, and we take stuff out of the stockpile and add stuff to the stockpile at the same time. So once you get the stockpile, it's not like, oh no, I have to keep stockpiling all the time. No, then you've got it kind of in place and you're just continuing to refresh as you eat, just like you were buying things without a stockpile.
Yeah. So
don't get it in your mind to be this huge giant thing where you have to spend $100,000.
Spend $5 a week, $20 a month, getting you some canned goods. We have been preaching this since that thing going around started in 2020, almost 5 years ago. And a lot of you have given us testimonials about how that has saved you. Several of you have emailed me saying how you got through Helene because you listened to our stockpiling advice. You got through cancer. You got through heart attacks. You got through job loss. You got through kids getting sick. You got through tornadoes. Another lady had a tornado in their town. This is nothing to joke about, and you can do it.
And for those of you that are the critics, the ones that say, well, what if your house washes away and your stockpile is going to be gone? All those people that Tara just talked about who said, thank you for getting me to stockpile because I made it through a hurricane or a tornado or job loss or whatever. You know what? You know how many of them told us my stockpile washed away? 0. None of them. Nobody said, I stockpiled because you told me to, and it was just gone. So the thing is, when you criticize that stuff,
your chances are like 0.
You're looking for the one chance of something disastrous happening. And you know what? That kind of thinking is going to get you in a serious world of hurt if you run into a problem. So instead, think about the positive. How could this help? Because all these people that she just talked about, their stockpiles didn't wash away, and they helped them greatly, and their families were able to weather the situation.
And they were able to help other people.
So,
whose houses did wash away.
Well, and that's another thing. They weren't all, holed up in the house, holding off the neighbors.
Well, people are under this impression that if, let's say, everybody around us, their house washes away, and we're the only one left with food, that we're not going to give our food to anyone. Absolutely ridiculous. Of course not. We're going to help our friends. We're going to help our neighbors. We're going to help our family members. We will help. People are I don't know why they're under that well, yes, I do know why they're under the impression, because they just look for the negative and no matter what, and they refuse to just try to see the positive. So in those situations, we had several people tell us that with Helene specifically, that they were able to help family members or friends or just random strangers who did have everything literally washed away. So your chances of actually having something like that happen where everything's just gone are like almost 0. But being the survivor in that situation is way greater. Your chances are way greater that you're gonna not have trucks coming in with supplies or whatever, but you're stuck there.
And you can't help anybody if you're neutralized.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're in a good situation and somebody else is having trouble, you can actually help them rather than panicking and demanding that somebody else do something for you.
All right, before we end, I have to tell you guys an update real quick. Some of you have asked how our fires are doing. So here's a picture from yesterday of the fires in our town. They are the mountains outside of our town. We do still have the fires going on. You can see here it is poofing up, but it is nothing near like it was. We had 2 good days of rain. It did not put it out. They said it's probably not going to be put out for at least several weeks, probably middle December. But we have more rain coming tomorrow, thankfully. And so we are doing well here. The firefighters, there's still, how many did they say?
They're
There's
so
like
amazing.
400
They're so
or 500. I mean, there was a
Yeah.
ton of firefighters still here from all over the country. Thank you guys for coming here to fight for us. We
Yes,
appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
Thank all of you for your prayers, for our protection, for our boys while we were gone. Thank you so much. And thank you for your prayers for us in general. You guys don't know the kind of stuff that goes on in the background, but your prayers are really appreciated. And some days we are like, how did we make it through this day? Because we're not quite sure. So we really appreciate it, and we appreciate you guys' support. Okay, we're gonna roll with it on this one, dear. Are you surprised?
No.
All right.
Tara, plan ahead. It's like that cartoon that's plan ahead without the D. Guess you didn't leave space for it. Okay, I'm gonna try something out here. Just roll with me, okay?
And the big one is, well, my hair's sticking out. Please go visit us at livingonadime.com. Go watch this video next, and we will see you guys next time.